1051.
It's Power 1051. It's the Breakfast Club, and we got a special guest in the building this morning.
Yeah.
The homie Lloyd.
New York City, what's happening? Good morning.
What's up with you? How's everything? You just got off tour?
Hey, I just got to ask y'all something, man.
What's that?
Now, Envy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You my mans.
Right.
You have my back.
Right.
But, man.
Yo.
You let Miguel whip my ass, man?
Oh yeah, that's right. You definitely said Miguel could whip out Lloyd in a fight.
Oh, you said that, Charlamagne?
New York City.
I had Lloyd.
I didn't say that.
Miguel whip my ass, man.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Where's the
I
love,
did.
baby?
Yeah, you
I thought it was Omarion that said Miguel could whip.
No,
I
that was
know
you.
all the homies in the hood.
You don't
told me.
remember?
They say, yo, man, say, yo.
You don't remember
He
when
said,
Lloyd
yo,
and
you
Miguel?
don't
remember
dust
that.
you.
Yeah, you definitely said
Lloyd and Miguel was
He'll
beefing
work
over the
you, son.
hairdo?
I thought it was Miguel and
How stupid
Omarion.
is that anyway?
You had your money on Miguel,
hairdo.
remember
Well,
that?
listen, Miguel
I
know
know.
karate
So
or something,
stupid.
though, Lloyd.
He got to.
No, he
got
do.
to.
Didn't you tell me he beat up a bunch of people in the club or something?
And how-
Yeah,
he said
I
somebody
said
jumped over
he
the
chased
table.
somebody. I did say he chased somebody in the club, but I still had my money on Lloyd.
Unless Lloyd
Thank
knows
you,
some martial
Envy.
arts,
Thank
I gotta
you.
go with Miguel.
I don't know karate.
And listen,
I know-
for Miguel to dress like that, he gotta know something. For him to look so crazy, he gotta know something, Lloyd. You gotta leave Miguel alone.
Well, I see you changed your
Too
hairdo, though.
stupid. It's always. I'd only cut it to get the tattoo, man.
No, I know.
You know
I
what
know.
I'm
I
saying?
didn't think you
It
were
ain't
copying
even-
Miguel.
yeah.
It didn't even cross my
Oh,
mind.
that's what it was over.
Yeah,
Now you
man.
remember?
Oh, yeah.
Lloyd stepped to him
And Lloyd
behind
stepped to him.
scenes, and he was
There
like,
you
"What's
go.
up,
All right,
brother?" He said,
okay,
"Don't brother me."
Okay, I got it. You should have just
Messed up,
snuffed him.
man.
You should have just snuffed him off top.
Stop that.
For real.
They might do a
That'd
song
been
together.
like stealing candy from a baby, man.
I don't know. I'm telling Miguel no martial arts.
Nah,
Yeah, all right.
I seen him, man. He was a different person.
Oh, I got okay.
Yeah,
I got
it
you.
wasn't like it wasn't about that.
I got you.
And plus, Lloyd's
He
not
wasn't
on
about that life.
Lloyd's-
Yeah, no,
he's not on it
I'm
like that.
positive, man. I just want to love.
He's
and,
a lover.
and spread peace, man, and premarital sex and bliss.
You want to spread premarital sex?
No, I promote it. Just promote premarital
Oh, you promote
sex.
it.
Listen,
Okay.
Miguel, you can spread love, but when Irv sees you, he not gonna spread no love. Irv wants blood.
He wants to hit you with a car.
Well, apparently, I'm gonna be hit by a car already. So
I
you
know,
probably won't
and that's
even
a
see me.
terrible thing to say about a person.
Well, let's get
I
right
have to
into it.
say.
Let's play the clip. Irv Gotti was talking about Lloyd, and he said some comments that, well, let's listen to the clip.
Lloyd, I have no love for. You know what I'm saying? Because here's a person that I helped out. And the minute he left, I let you go. You wanted to leave, I let you go. And you're going to say, oh, well, Gotti did this and Gotti did that. You went platinum with Gotti. He could walk right past me. He get hit by a car. I'd be like, oh, word? He got hit by a car? Yo, BJ, let's go get something to eat. Yeah, and then right after that, he did the records with 50 and Lloyd. Like, you was waiting these dudes off, huh? You couldn't wait to these dudes. No pause or none of that. You couldn't wait them off.
Man, he said you wanted to blow them.
Hey, you know what though? I got to laugh at because it's funny, man. It's funny. And I don't really dwell on stuff like this. I mean, it's so much going on in life in the world that this is real minimal. But I know it's New York City. I know they listen and they want to hear something. I personally feel like, as someone who isn't from New York, who's from a totally different place, it just sounds to me like he's a lot bitter. He might be in a weird place in his life, his career, and he's just lashing out. He's had a lot happen to him in the past, few years or whatever, and maybe he's taking it out on me because we did have a really, really awesome relationship, which was bigger than music. I didn't grow up with a father. My father was killed when I was a kid. I didn't know a lot of successful people, coming from where I was from, and he's also a father. So I learned a lot from him when I was much younger, and I'm very appreciative for that, and I want everybody to know that. But me working with the likes of 50 Cent or Lloyd Banks or whatever, I don't really think I gotta explain myself because I could do what the I want to do. I could work with who I want to work with. I just make music. That's what I'm here for. That's my message, and that's not really much deeper than that. I mean,
I felt like there was tension when I saw you on the reality show that he had. When he had that, something that was weird about that.
It was creative indifferences.
Well, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back a little bit. He said he let you go. I know there was one case where everybody thought you were signed to, I think it was Interscope.
Nah, he didn't let me go. I had to fight my way out.
I think you were signed to Interscope. You put out a record, and then all of a sudden you weren't signed on Interscope anymore, and then you were re-signed.
No, that
with
was
Murder Inc.
Atlantic.
That was Atlantic. What happened with that situation?
That was when I did my own thing. I said, F the world, everybody. I'm gonna just start putting my music out.
Right.
I hollered at my friends in Atlanta who was DJs, Greg Street, and my crew, and I basically did like, you know how rap dudes do. I took my music to the station, and just, you know, told them listen to it, if they liked it, to play it.
Right.
And at the time, he was, you know, going through the federal trial. The feds had basically crashed everything. It was nuts. It was just, everything was going crazy. Nobody was putting out music. Nobody could put out music. There was no music.
Right.
So for somebody who makes music, and I can't make music, what are you to do?
Right.
You know, either you're gonna stay and burn or crash or sink with the ship, or you gonna say, I'm a man, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do to survive. And you know, when I put that record out, I think, you know, as someone who is as wise as him, who is as successful as him, and who is as revered as him, you know, I think even though, you know, you get in these moods where you lash out at people, right? And then that's the big headline. I think you still got to keep in mind that people, they do pay attention. They look up to you, and you really kind of like is an inspiration for a lot of ghetto children.
You can't just say anything.
You can't really do that. And, you know, for somebody like me who grew up being inspired by the likes of someone like that, it's tough because, you know, when I put out You with Lil Wayne, that record in particular, and I think even Irv Gotti will tell you that himself, basically put him back in the game.
But you were signed to Atlantic, right?
But they didn't have distribution at the Ink.
Right. So, but how did you do that? Because I know you were signed on Atlantic.
Because
Atlantic put the record out.
Because the record took off.
Right.
It became a #1 record
That's
in the
still on
South.
my iPod in the gym.
Made it its way all the way to New York City from a southern basement, basically.
Then it seems like you were on Atlantic, and then they pulled you off.
And when Atlantic came through, you know, my friend Michael Kaiser and Kevin Lyles and Leah, you know, Leah Cohen, they all called me directly. They said, "Kid, you got something special. We want to help you out. We know that you know you're going through a tough you know period. You're trying to make a move. Right. We're gonna help you, and we're gonna, you know, take care of any lawyer fees that you may have in the future, because we believe." And you know, do just some legal stuff, you know, didn't turn out my way. I ended up having to release more music under the moniker of the Ink.
Or wasn't letting go.
He wasn't letting go. He wasn't letting me go, like he said. And,
well, of course he didn't want to,
and
though.
it wasn't even about that, because I had love for them, and I could still do my thing.
Right.
And to me, I really felt like even in the midst of all of their beef and they issues with this set or that camp, it really never really involved me.
Right.
It really didn't affect me.
You.
It really didn't. It was none of my concern.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, with that being said, that whole time period, the Street Love era, really gave him new life. And I think I deserve a little bit more credit, but because I'm the young, you know, it's probably a little harder, you know, for someone to swallow that pill, and that's all right. I realized that every man deserves to be happy. Right. Every man deserves to have his own sense of success, and no one really deserves to dictate another man's, you know, path.
Do you feel like you should have had a little more loyalty to him though, because
you know
he put
what
you
I
in the
think?
game?
I mean, you
and like
know
when
what?
the feds came, like
I would never ever say that it's unloyal, because it is. It really is. I mean, I wouldn't deny that, but I also think that it's survive. You gotta survive.
You gotta put yourself
in
first.
life.
Sometimes.
You gotta put yourself.
It's a business.
It's like how Wayne said. He said, I put. What he said, I before. He said something about I and put the rest of the vowels back. I'm all about I. Put the rest of the vowels back, because you gotta sometimes. You gotta say, man.
Should I let my career suffer to be loyal?
My whole community just got struck by Hurricane Katrina. My family lost everything. I had about 13 people living with me in my house in Atlanta. We had U-Haul caravans in the back, and you know, behind the house with everybody in it. And I was going through a tough patch in my life, both financially and personally, you know. And Irv was you know, my big brother, and I reached out to him for help. He didn't come through for me when I needed his help. Right? It was something really small, but I'm not gonna dwell on it.
You sure you had it? Because, you know, he might not have had it.
He was going through legal stuff, paying a lot of money in attorney fees.
He was, and because of that, I understand, and because of that, I had to do what I had to do. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So from my standpoint, it's weird. It's just weird. It sound like a bitter old man.
Right.
I wonder why he's like it. Why is he mad at you but not Ashanti? Because it seemed like Ashanti did the exact same thing.
Worse.
Well, you know what I heard?
Or even more. But you know what?
He was in love with Ashanti, and somebody told me
that's a complicated subject. That goes a little deeper than just music. You know? What I mean?
Somebody told me that the reason the label was doing like it was a little crazy also was because when Ashanti left him to go be with Nelly, he was just so heartbroken, and he kind of let everything just kind of go.
Well, that's not my place.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Yee.
That's what I heard from somebody that was
right
signed
now.
there.
You gassing.
See, but you know what? I'll be truthful with you.
That wouldn't be my place to speak on that, but you know, I definitely think that the world knows, you know,
right.
about.
But if it gets to a point where Irv is not releasing
relationship.
music and not doing the label, I get it and I understand it. But if y'all work with my enemy up here, and I see y'all in the street, y'all gotta put your hands up when y'all see me.
And that's cool.
You
That's
see what
cool
I'm saying?
too. That's cool too,
if,
Envy. But you know what?
If I'm signed to you and you're not allowing me to make money, that's a different situation. You know?
That's not cool.
Right.
What you just said. But even with the first comment, you know, we always keep it peaceful over here. Mm-hmm. You know, all my music is about love.
50
but you know what though?
Marine.
But you know what? He don't control my block.
Right.
Where I'm from, he ain't got no rank in my hood. Where I'm from, so I don't really feel the need to have fear for that.
But you had to know that was, you had to know that was going to be an issue.
Saying,
right?
Oh, it's you know it's on.
But
I ain't worried about that. You know what? And for me as a man, as an artist, as someone who you know wants to do fly and make great fly music, when I heard the record with Banks, I always was skeptical because I already knew what people would say.
Right.
But the music was so dope, and he was jamming.
Right.
And I just had to just be like, you know what? I can't let this dictate my life or my career, and I just got to do my thing. And I think that you know my motto was always let's build these bridges, let's stop burning them.
Right.
But I was kind of
stuck.
Kind of delivered into a burnt bridge, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
I had to build my own path, and you know, in my heart of all hearts, I have no ill intent toward him. You know what I'm saying? I pray for his happiness and his family. He's got a great family. It's just weird, man, to hear him say that.
Did y'all speak to him before you did the song?
Bitter.
Did you speak to him before you did the song?
Nah, but I brought Ja out and Ashanti at the Puff concert at Hammerstein.
Did he express that he had issues with you then?
Nah, I mean, I think it was kind of an unspoken, you know, rule. But even me and Ja, we had to talk about it a lot. He you know, he told me how it made him feel. You know, for me to work with the likes of a 50 Cent or a Lloyd Banks, you know, with all they had been through, and I just reassured him that it wasn't to suck off, in the words of the great Gotti, or it wasn't to appease, you know, my revenge or whatever the fuck. It was just for music. It was to make good music. It was to tell people, look, I'm my own man.
Right.
Nobody control me. Nobody can tell me what to do.
I'm sure that's a complicated situation too, because you're signed to somebody who you feel like you have a stronger connection to than just a business relationship.
That's why I signed in the first place.
Then you needed him for something, and he didn't come through, even if it was something small. And then you were trying to get off the label, but he wasn't trying to let you go and do your thing.
Well, let's not say that he wouldn't come through. It may have been like Envy said,
right?
he couldn't.
But it didn't work out. But then you were trying to business-wise get off the label, perhaps, and do something that would be better for you, so you could put out the music that you wanted to put out. But he wouldn't let you do that.
No.
So I'm sure that had to be like, okay, you're kind of like, we're supposed to be, you know, tighter than that, and I can't even go ahead and make my living and do what I got to do because you want to keep me here.
Yeah, and that's.
So then after that, you kind of feel like, well,
Lloyd was like, F them.
Where's my allegiance?
I'm going to do these records with G-Unit to piss them off.
No.
Nah, man, stop it, man.
I know how to hurt them.
Nah, man.
I know where to hurt them.
Nah, man. Nah, you know what?
But I get it.
You know what? And you know, me and Ja talked, and he said, you know, it just tripped me out a little bit because the 50 Cent record ain't really do nothing. It ain't even take off. I actually think it was one of my worst charting singles, you know, in my career. But it wasn't with the intent of let's get back at them. You know what I'm saying? I never ever thought about signing there.
It wasn't a clapback.
I never would, because I don't even. That's just not my. That's not That's not my stage.
Now, how is everything else going with you now with
Well,
touring?
I
and
just
let's
got
talk
off a
about
tour
let's
with
talk about the
Wayne.
tour.
His first tour back. He personally invited